Good evening and welcome to the Orange County High School of the Arts, and thank you so much for coming. I'm Patricia Dobiez. I'm Director of Instrumental Music here at OSHA. We are very excited to be hosting this panel discussion. I'd like to tell you a couple things about our moderator, Barry Silverman. Barry's been teaching and performing for over 40 years. For the last 14 years, Mr. Silverman has been music director of the South Coast Symphony. For 12 seasons, he was music director and conductor of the Saddleback College Symphony Orchestra, and before that, he was at Chapman University as director of bands and jazz studies and the opera orchestra. His other conducting assignments have taken him to Israel, where he has conducted concerts at Tel Aviv Museum and with the Israel Philharmonic, and there's lots more to tell about him, but he's going to talk about it himself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patty. Good evening and welcome to OSHA and our keys to admission, or to put it another way, how to get your child or student into the university or college or music conservatory of their choice. Thanks, Patty, for that nice introduction, and I'm going to get to the panel in a few minutes. Right here at OSHA, I've been here for 2 years now. I conduct the concert orchestra, and as Patty said, I'm also the conductor of the South Coast Symphony here in Orange County. We like to refer to that as the Unstuffy Symphony for the OC. But teaching here at OSHA has really been a dream job for me, and I'm really not trying to butter anybody up. After 40 years of teaching public school, coming to OSHA and having students who are so eager to learn and work hard every single time I get in front of them is just a real joy, and I've really enjoyed my tenure here. You have in your program a list of course offerings that we have here at OSHA. But along with those, which are some of the traditional things you find at almost any school, any high school, we also teach music theory, music history, improv. We have master classes for all the kids, conducting, and of course the best part, no marching band. The format for this evening's panel discussion is going to be, I'm going to do some brief bragging introductions to the gentlemen and ladies on our panel, and then I'm going to give each one of them an opportunity to tell you about their schools. And then we're going to go into some pre-submitted questions. I really appreciate everyone who emailed us some great questions. And then it'll be your turn. If we don't answer everything in the panel discussion, then we'll do a Q&A and you can ask whatever you like. When I saw the list of schools that were represented here this evening, I realized that I had some sort of a connection with every one of those schools. And so very briefly, I'll tell you what that connection was. USC is the most obvious. I got my bachelor's and master's at USC. And my very first teaching assignment was the music preparatory department at USC. And then a couple of years ago, Dean Cudietta and I kind of collaborated on a concert with the South Coast Symphony, which we called USC in the OC. And that particular concert involved a number of wonderful students that are at USC, along with some alumni, all performing with the symphony. We had a good time. We'll do it again. In the mid-'70s, I was on the faculty of California State University at Long Beach. I guess it has a new name now. I taught percussion studies there in the mid-'70s, and actually, my wife and I, she was going to Long Beach at the time. I didn't meet her there, but we ended up getting married, and my student teacher at the time, which was from Cal State Long Beach, conducted my high school orchestra for our wedding. So that's our connection there. At Chapman, I worked there for 5 years, as you heard, doing all sorts of things, conducting and music education and the Wind Studies program. And what I'd like to do, I'm going to introduce each person. I'll start with you, John, and I'll do the bragging rights. I'll tell you a little bit about them, and then they can tell you a little bit about their school. So, John Carnahan is Director of Bands and Director of the Bob Cole Conservatory of Music at California State University, Long Beach, where he has been a professor of music since 1988. Prior to his appointment at Long Beach, Mr. Carnahan served as Assistant Director of Bands at the University of Texas in Arlington, where he taught music education courses and conducted the marching and symphonic bands. His university ensembles have gained widespread notoriety for imaginative musical interpretation and distinctive performance quality, and have been honored with invitations to perform throughout the Western United States, Europe, and Japan. He is the recipient of the 2007 College Band Directors National Association Young Band Composition Contest for his work entitled "And the Antelope Play." Mr. Carney.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here this evening, and I'm representing the Bob Cole Conservatory of Music, which we just became the Bob Cole Conservatory of Music 2 years ago. We were lucky enough to have interest in our university and in the conservatory, and a gentleman who lived in Long Beach all of his life, was a businessman and entrepreneur, decided to endow the music department, and along with that came his name, which was Bob Cole. And we're very proud of that. It's enabled us now to become a little bit more aggressive in terms of scholarship money. That's what the earmark was for, and that's what we're using it for at this point. Other changes are slow to come. We're called a conservatory. We're not really what you would call the classic conservatory, because we are still in the Cal State University system. So what that entails is still a pretty hefty amount of general education courses, but our students are not required to take quite as many as the rest of the university at this point. So we're it was a surprise to us whenever this occurred. So we're still in a transition, trying to turn the music program into more of a conservatory model than a Cal State system model. We have a graduate program, an undergraduate program, just a master's degree. We serve about 500 music majors at this point, evenly spread between all of the areas: choral, instrumental, string, jazz, music education, etc. So it's an exciting time at the university as we're growing in a transition and with our new name.
Thank you. Next is Dr. Robert Cutietta, Dean of the University of Southern California, Thornton School of Music. If I talk too quickly, will you let me know? My wife always complains that I speak too fast, so just holler out, slow down or something. He is a noted author and popular speaker whose areas of expertise include the middle school learner, choral education, learning theories, and the psychology of music. Prior to coming to USC, Dr. Cutietta was professor and director of the School of Music and Dance at the University of Arizona. He joined the University of Arizona as a professor of music education in 1994, following appointments at Kent State and Montana State Universities. His honors include the prestigious Putnam Award for Meritorious Teaching and the Maestro Award based on the accomplishments of his students from the University of Arizona. Dr. Cutietta was also named Distinguished Alumnus of the Year by Pennsylvania State University College of Arts and Architecture in 2000, and received the Distinguished Alumni Award from Cleveland State University College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences in 2008. And in our pre-meeting, we discovered that we both started teaching high school together, different states, in 1974. Dean?
Thank you, Barry. Now that you said how old I am, I appreciate that so much.
You're very welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. I think the school here is just really a real gem for Southern California, so I'm very happy to be here. I am Dean of the Thornton School of Music at USC. It's probably one of the most comprehensive and diverse schools of music that you'll find anywhere. Our degrees that we offer literally every type of degree that there is. There's Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Science, Masters of Arts, Masters of Music, Doctorate of Musical Arts, PhD in Music, Artist Diploma, Graduate Certificate Program. Literally every type of degree is offered somewhere within the Thornton School. But we also have a very, very strong and wealth of programs, diversity in programs. We have our orchestral program, vocal arts program, choral programs, a new popular music program. We have jazz programs. And all of these students are really put side by side, which creates a very exciting environment. We also have recording arts and music industry. It goes on and on. So it's a very exciting school. We are a professional school at USC. That means that we are literally a conservatory, but we're a conservatory that's embedded in a liberal arts university, being USC. And it might come as a real surprise to you, but the Thornton School of Music does not have a marching band either. It's a student organization. We have nothing to do with it.
I wish it was that way when I was